Who said Kashtira is ass now? I did. I said that. But despite that, I tried to make Kashtira as good as possible regardless. So here we have my list. This is my Kashtira Copium deck. And with Kashtira Copium, we are essentially trying to blind second and OTK our opponent after using a variety of board-breaking cards. Now, luckily, there are also some other interesting cards Kashtira actually has access to in Master Duel only that is gonna help us do that. Now, of course, if you're looking for the best possible deck to climb with right now, Kashtira in general is probably not going to be it. It's a lot of ultra rare material for a deck that is not insane. But if you are set on playing Kashtira or you already want to practice a little bit with the cards for when they become full power, this might be the list to do it. So first of all, we start with triple Maxi because Maxi is broken. Then we start with triple Ash because Ash stops Maxi and Maxi is broken. Then we have triple Rice Heart. Now normally this card is not really a 3-off if you have all the Kashtiras at full power, but we don't. Luckily, Rice Heart is actually an extender when you open other Kashtiras, but more importantly, it is insanely good to open with Birth as well, because at least that way you still get access to your engine. The way that works is you go normal summon Rice Heart, you activate its effect to banish a Fenrir from your deck, you activate Birth to special summon the Fenrir from banish, and then Fenrir can search another one of your Kashtiras, like for example Unicorn. So this way you still get access to your engine, even though Rice Heart by itself is not a typical good Kashtira monster. So since we only have so few Kashtira cards, we max it out even though you're only gonna see 2 in decks. And we have 2 Dimension Shifter. This is our I win button. This deck right now is basically limping along and it has 2 crutches. 1 shifter and another shifter. And those 2 crutches are gonna get us so far. So yeah, we shifter tier players sometimes. They might just pass and then hopefully we can OTK them. Then we have 2 Fenrir. Fenrir is crazy. Let me tell you what it does. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then during your main phase, you can add 1 Kashtira monster from your deck to your hand. So this is like a Cyber Dragon on steroids. It's like special summon itself out. Then it can add any Kashtira monster from the deck to the hand. And when this card declares an attack, or if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and banish it face down. So this card has 3 really good effects. It is insane removal. This is the heart and soul of the deck, and that's why they semi-limited despite the deck not being playable right now. Then we have Kashtira Unicorn. This is usually a good starter, but now that we don't actually have Theosis, this is a decent card. It also says if you control no monsters, you can special summon it. So all of the good Kashtira monsters basically have these automatic special summons built in, and then during your main phase, it can add a Kashtira spell from your deck. So this is basically like Fenrir, but instead of searching monsters, this searches spells. Its other effect is also when it attacks or if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and banish something face down. This is really good, because this means if you go against Tearlaments, for example, and you manage to grab their 1 Kid Kalos, GG. They can no longer do Kid Kalos type fusion plays. The same for like if Dragon Link only plays 1 Striker Dragon, you can also just snipe that and so forth. So you can basically start picking apart powerful pieces of the extra deck, but of course when we're blinding second, that is not going to be as good anymore. Overall though, currently Unicorn can only search Birth. Finally, we have 2 Ogre. So this card once again can special summon itself like the others, and this one, like Unicorn and Fenrir, can also search a card, but this one can only search traps. Now, I'm not playing any of those traps, and the reason is we're blinding second. Those traps aren't going to help us whatsoever. Then finally, on attack, it can look at 5 cards from the top of your opponent's deck and banish 1 face down, and then place the rest on the top of the deck in the same order. So you can kind of mess with your opponent's like deck order and so forth, but in the end, it's not that insane. The only reason we're playing this is because this is another Kashtira monster that we can like special summon, and then we could maybe normal summon a Rice Heart or special summon a Rice Heart, make it level 7, do rank 7 plays and so forth. The card, for all intents and purposes, is just a level 7 extender. That's also a Kashtira monster, so you can kind of, you know, combine them with Birth and Fenrir and so forth. But it's really not a great card. It does have high attack though, which can actually come up in OTKing. Now, we have a bunch of going second power spells. I have 1 Raigeki because I only own 1. We have 1 Duster because actual back row can matter. We have 1 Change of Heart because I only own 1. We have 1 Foolish Burial. Now, this one might be weird to you. You might be saying, this is not a graveyard deck. Why would you do this? Basically, like I said before, this deck currently has almost no ways to play. It has so few Kashtira monsters. And in the TCG, this deck already has an issue of not having enough starters. But in the TCG, we have 3 Field Spell, that's search Kashtira cards, so that's starters. We have Terraforming, that searches a field spell, so that's a starter. We have 3 Theosis, which together with Rise Heart also does full combo. And we have triple Fenrir. So in the TCG, we already have so many more starters. It is absolutely insane. And still, we also have triple Pot of Prosperity, which again gets us into our starters. So in the TCG, we already have double or maybe triple the amount of starters as this deck in here. And even in the TCG, Kashtira is considered pretty bricky and often lacking starters. So in Master Duel, we are playing with so few starters, it is honestly pathetic. You're also going to see this in the replays, by the way. The first replay, I just couldn't play. So I added the shittiest extender possible, which is Foolish Burial, because at least together with Unicorn or Birth, this actually creates combos. You can go Unicorn, add Birth, Foolish Burial, Foolish Fenrir, Birth, Special Summon Fenrir, Fenrir Search, and so forth. Or you can open Birth, go like Foolish Fenrir, instantly Birth, Revive Fenrir, Fenrir Search, and so forth. So again, Foolish Burial is like the last extender you want, but it is still an extender in this deck that otherwise doesn't have any. Now, another thing you could consider, but this is real copium, is the Durandal Arms, because this can add a level 5 or lower Fire Warrior monster by being equipped to a monster. So you could search Rise Heart this way. I don't know, if we're really down bad for starters, you can add this as well. So next we have Reinforcement of the Army. Again, this just searches Rise Heart, which together with Birth is going to be combo, and together with Unicorn, at least, you know, gives you some place. We're grasping. We're desperate, basically. Now we have triple Pot of Desires. Like I said, we're desperate. We need starters. There's nothing. Why is there no field spell in the game? This even with field spell, this deck would fucking suck ass, but at least, okay. So triple Pot of Desires, so we can hopefully play. Then we have 2 Lightning Storm. Again, just a power spell, go second, break some boards, you know, eat some ass. Then we have 2 triple Tactics Talents. Once again, really powerful for breaking boards. As you can see, I'm trying to not play too many tree-offs wherever I can, because I want as many cards as possible to be live, because we need to instantly OTK. We cannot make proper boards. We can only attempt OTK. So if you play like triple Lightning Storm, but you draw 2 and you can only activate 1, and with Pot of Desires, we're probably sometimes going to have like 7 cards to play with, you never want to open doubles. So like 2 of this, 1 of this, 1 of this, 2 of this, trying to just always open playable hands. 1 Pot of Prosperity. This card, I'm gonna be real, given that we're trying to OTK, kind of sucks. It's only now that I actually think about that. I haven't drawn it in my place yet, because it's only a one-off. You could probably cut this for like another Change of Heart or something, because this kind of just forces you into like a double Zeus play. More on that later. So you might actually cut this. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I want my second Change of Heart. Yeah, there we go. Second Change of Heart, just like that. I don't own it, but, you know, you'll see in the replays, it was fine. Then we have triple Instant Contact. Yeah, we're mad coping right now. I actually called this on the channel in the past, how this could be a level 7 extender, and here we are. So it says pay 1000 life points, special summon 1 level 7 or lower elemental hero. That's all you need to know. We're basically always going to be special summoning Dark Neos or Grand Neos. These are normal, so you're not really wasting much. The reason for these 2 is they are level 7 and their attributes are good. As you can see, we play 2 Charmers here. Yeah, we're coping really well. So that's why these have these attributes. But if you see some other plays, for example, one cool play I had in mind as well is you could take Glow Neos. If you go for Glow Neos right here, you could make a Chaos Angel that has a light attribute in it. You can activate Instant Contact, normal summon Ash, and then you can make Chaos Angel, and it will say, since there was a light used for its Synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent. So that's really solid, but I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a little too cope. But if that's a play you want to do, if you're a fan of Chaos Angel, you absolutely can. So triple Instant Contact, again, just level 7 extenders, because we're trying to go into these rank 7 plays. Then we have Kashtira Birth. This is going to be a very solid card. You can normal summon level 7 monsters without tributing. Yeah, this is actually Toon support. It lets you use Toon Red Eyes. I could make a Kashtira Toon deck. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a Kashtira Toon deck. So this says, during your main phase, you can special summon one of your non-Xyz Kashtira monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. So that's why I was alluding to earlier with Fenrir. I could like get it back from the graveyard with Birth, or Rise Heart banishes something from your deck and then you get it back with Birth. And it also has a funny effect. If your opponent activates a spell card or effect and you control a Kashtira monster, you can target 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard, banish them face down. So if your opponent, for example, activates Branded Fusion and you have a Kashtira monster and Birth, you can just get rid of Albaz and so forth, and they might not be able to make any decent fusions, which is always really funny. Then we have triple Imperm, because I do think this is like the best hand trap into Tearlaments right now. Like, they go Rhino Rhino Heart, Imperm, or Kid Kalos, Imperm, and then they might pass their turn, which is where your board breakers might be able to utterly destroy them. Now for the extra deck, so we first have the 2 Neos cards, again just level 7 extenders for instant contact, and we have Baron, because, I mean, we can make Baron. All of these Kashtira cards are level 7, Ash is a level 3. Now we also have Chengying, because this thing gets huge, especially with Pot of Desires active or Shifter. So that's why, again, if we're trying to OTK, sometimes we might literally go special summon a Kashtira monster, normal summon Ash, make a gigantic Chengying, and probably win the game of that. Then we have Big Eye. This is a huge card for this deck. You can just steal a monster from your opponent, kind of like Change of Heart. But a little bit of a hidden effect on Big Eye is that it's also a dark spellcaster. So what we can do is we can Big Eye, take something from our opponent, then make dark, grab something from our opponent's graveyard, and now we can Selene, bring back Big Eye, and then make access code. So that's a little play you can do in this deck, and that's why we're also playing like Selene access code, because I mean, we're not locking ourselves into Xyz with Theosis anyway. The only card that can lock you is Rice Heart, so don't special summon this from your hand with its effect if you don't want to be locked into Xyz. But so that's why, you know, Big Eye Spellcaster Dark, a little cute extra play. Then we have Tomahawk. This is actually a card that we do not have in the TCG, and that could actually make Kashtira a bit better in Master Duel. So this says, once per turn, detach 2 Xyz materials from this card, special summon as many tokens as possible. That means 4 or more. So essentially, what we're going to do is Tomahawk is going to make these tokens, and then we are going to make Gaia Saber the Lightning Shadow. This horse says 2+ monsters, and it's a link 3. This means that we can turn the tokens into our horse. Then we can make access code with the horse, and that can help us OTK. So 2 level 7 bodies. So then we make the horse with the Tomahawk, and we make access code. Now, important part, if you activate Tomahawk, you cannot OTK. It says your opponent takes no further battle damage this turn. So this is an oh shit button. The only reason to use this is if you can't clear, but you still want to wipe the board, and you have like no clear Zeus line or anything like that. That's when you can actually go Tomahawk into horse, into access code, and start popping stuff off, you know, attack over something, access code banish the horse, kill something, access code get rid of itself, kill something else, because the horse is earth and it is dark. But this is not gonna be like something with which you can OTK, sadly. If you want, you could also like try to play Appaloosa instead. You know, we can play around with the extra deck, but just remember with that Tomahawk, we are not going to be able to OTK. Next, we have Draco Sack. So this can just pop stuff. Essentially, you detach, you special summon 2 tokens, and then you can just destroy some cards. This gets around certain floodgates and so forth. Dark Arm Dragon also pops stuff. You kind of just need to sometimes read the situation. In every Kashtira deck, you're going to see probably one of these or both of these, and then you can just choose depending on the situation. Then we have Infinitrack Mountain Smasher. This is the way Kashtira can make a big Zeus. So this says, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, attach that monster to this card as material. So you have 2 cards under Mountain Smashers already. Then you add another one with its effect, and then itself is 4. So this is how you make a 4 material Zeus. So if you fail to kill, you can at least make a Zeus, wipe everything, and then still have another wipe for during their turn. Yeah, desperate times, desperate measures. Now next we have the Charmers. I want to play Asa because I'm assuming a lot of people are going to be playing Fenrir in their deck. So now I can Asa grab their Fenrir and hopefully start playing. Next there's Dark, because Dark is the most common attribute, and again we're using this Dark extender here with the Neo stuff, and again Big Eye Spellcaster stuff. So Dark is kind of like our easiest way into access code. Then we have the Horse. Again, I explained the Tomahawk play, but you can also just do this with the Charmers because this says 2+ monsters. So if you can't do the Selene play for some reason, you can always just go like Dark, grab something, make the Horse, then make access code or something along those lines. Also note that Selene doesn't work under Shifter. I mean, Dark and so forth won't even work under Shifter. But so at least now you have like access to your Horse and your Selene, yeah. And then you finally have your access code, of course, which is just a big booty. And sometimes you'll be able to OTK with this as well, but this is going to be very rare. So this is the deck. Again, a lot of these slots aren't going to come up often. In the end, Kashtira is kind of known for relying on a couple really good rank 7s, like Big Eye, Draco, Sack, Dark Armed, Zeus, and of course in the actual game, Arise Heart and Shangri-Ira. You might notice there's no Shangri-Ira in this deck, and that's because we're never making a board. We're trying to just OTK, and so Shangri-Ira will do nothing. But this is the deck, and now let's check out the replay. Alright, let's get this copium pile started. So first of all, we opened unplayable unless this Desires hits, well, engine basically. However, in an ideal world, they are playing like Tearlaments, and I just go... Oh. Let's start by activating Pot of Desires here. And we still don't have engine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is exactly how Kashtira works. Okay, this time we got some engine. Now we could actually maybe play Copium. Though to be fair, our Unicorn will get our Kashtira Birth, but we don't have anything to revive with Kashtira Birth. Why do we do this? End phase. Okay, so they're ending on this. This might be a game that we can actually win. Let's go, boys. A Foolish Burial. This is exactly what we needed. Holy shit, this is exactly what we needed. All right, first we will special summon Kashtira Unicorn. Okay, then we will activate the effect of Kashtira Unicorn. We will grab Birth. Then we will activate Foolish Burial, and we will bury Kashtira Fenrir. Then we will activate Kashtira Birth and grab Fenrir. Now for our next magic trick, we will have to activate Pot of Desires, because we're looking for particular cards. Okay, that was not it. That was not it at all. We got a free game, and I'm still figuring out how the fuck we're OTKing. We're going to Fenrir and grab Rise Heart. We're going to activate Instant Contact. We're going to special summon Dark Neos. We're going to normal summon Ash Blossom. Then on the 5th summon we make Baron. And somehow this is still not game. That's right. Awesome deck, you guys. Very, very impressive. If they had a graveyard, it'd be easier, though. We could, like, Big Eye Dark and do all that kind of stuff. Now we special summon Rise Heart. And now we have game. So now we activate Baron. We pop this. Of course, we could also, like, Kashtira Fenrir banish face down. And now we're going to go to battle phase. And look at that. We managed to actually OTK with Kashtira. All it took was them not having a board whatsoever. Just one card. And us drawing, like, really solid. Yeah. Sick deck. That's how you win with cash. Once again, we are relying on them not ashing our Pot of Desires. So that's exciting. Now, luckily, the Sword Soul board sucks ass. So we are simply gonna let them play. And then we're going to Imperm the Baron, activate Lightning Storm, and auto-win. That is essentially the play. But then they can't have an Ash for our Pot of Desires. So it's still gonna be tough. Somehow. Oh, see, that's how you win with cash. Mad impressive. Okay, look at that. We have quite a bit of engine here. We opened Kashtira Fenrir and Unicorn. We have Pot of Desires, which might draw us into some more stuff. This by itself is actually already OTK, actually. So if they don't have anything, this would be OTK, but of course, they're gonna do something. The way this is OTK is Unicorn, grab Bird, normal summon Fenrir, Fenrir add Rise Heart banish Ogre, Bird special Ogre, and that's game on board. But of course, here we'll have to see what they do. A Cyber Dragon going first. That's interesting. Alright, I mean, that's fine, I guess. I think I'll just negate whatever they end up summoning. So I'll toggle off and let them play. Oh, fuck. I wonder if they would destroy our Fenrir. Like, one option is to just go, like, special Fenrir, and then if they instantly overflow, then we can Unicorn Birth it back. Alternatively, of course... I was gonna say, alternatively, we draw Lightning Storm, but I mean, okay. So once again, really quickly just showing you this is how you win with Kash. Destroy all spells and traps. Bada bim, bada boom. It's that easy sometimes. Alright, they can add a Cyber Spell or Trap from the deck to the hand. I don't really care. Okay, now let me show you how we OTK with just Unicorn Fenrir. I'm guessing that's just useful to see, right? So we're going to Unicorn... Activate. We're going to grab Birth. Yep. Then we're going to activate Birth, which lets us normal summon this Fenrir. And they give up. Yeah, well, this is game. It's literally Unicorn get Birth, normal summon Fenrir because of Birth. Fenrir effect searches Rice Heart. Rice Heart special summons itself, banishes Ogre or another Fenrir, but let's say Ogre, from your deck. Birth effect special summon back the Ogre, and those attack for game. So that is all. Again, this is mad copium. Kashtira right now is, in my opinion, not a real playable deck. But if you want to have fun with Kash already, somehow, I think this is gonna be as close as you're gonna get. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you have some more copium ideas to make Kashtira work right now, let me know, and I will see you soon. Ciao.